Hello everyone, this is the CRT Productions here, and it seems like a lot of things have happened since the last time we spoke. I did make a video on January 1st of this year, but, well, since I was regularly making videos, a lot of things have changed. Now, not a lot of things have changed since the last time I made a video like this. Of course, in 2021 we had a similar situation going on with mid-range graphics cards costing $1,000, and seems like we're right back where we came from. Oh man, oh guys, this isn't good. Our entire region just got swallowed up by a huge hollow. I'm here in a safe zone right now with my trusty Titan, of course. It's the RTX 50 series again. You've got to help us. You've got to join the Discord server, link in the description. Fight back against the scalpers. Oh. Oh. Just recently, we of course had the RTX 5080 launch, being described by many as a paper launch. I was there. I was refreshing the pages along with everybody else that was trying to get one, except I didn't really intend on purchasing one. I do this every time that there's a new big release or big launch of graphics cards. I at least pretend as though I want to purchase one. I'll go to the websites, this time only Newegg, because B&H Photo and Video didn't make the cards available at the official launch date of launch time of 9 a.m. The official release window of 9 a.m. to 9:05 a.m. that day. Newegg did. Best Buy, I believe, had some stock, but Best Buy's website is garbage and almost unusable. But I did do it on Newegg, a couple different cards. I was able to get a card in my cart by refreshing the page at 9 o'clock, 1 second, like 1 second past 9 o'clock. I refreshed the page, hit add to cart. I was already logged into the website. I already had payment information saved in my account on Newegg and everything. If you didn't have that, you had no chance of getting the card whatsoever. I was able to get that one. Now, a couple minutes after that, after I did that experiment, I removed that from the cart. So we're looking at 9:03 or 9:04 a.m. I tried to do it with a different model. It was a little bit higher end model. It was a Zotac model. I don't remember the exact name of it, but it's their fancier RTX 5080 is about $1,200. Added that to my cart, and it let me add it to the cart. There were several other models I was watching from MSI, which were already completely gone. They didn't even show the option to add to cart. With this one, I added it to my cart. In between the time I added it to my cart and then I clicked checkout, which was at most 10 seconds, it was already gone. So once I got to the checkout page, it said this item no longer available. And that was probably 9:04 or 9:05, and by that time I took a glance at the other models. They were gone. So yeah, it sold out within 5 minutes, at least on Newegg. Maybe it lasts a little longer on Best Buy's website because, it takes like 10 minutes to load a page on there. But anyway, the point being, right now it's looking pretty grim for graphics cards. The RTX 40 series launch wasn't much better, but this time we have another situation brewing. I kind of somewhat sarcastically made a video saying, can you make do for the time being, now that RTX 2060s are saying like $600 or something at the time. Can you make do for the time being with a GTX 770? This is something that you could actually potentially buy. And I showed a few basic gaming benchmarks, but that was a somewhat sarcastic video, obviously. It was at the time, 2014, it's a 7-year-old graphics card at that time. Can you use it? People on eBay, even with that card, were probably selling for like $150.
What about eBay? eBay. We'll go eBay. I mean, I'm going to assume that all these are going to be mining cards, and I don't care. That's fine. I will take a mining card.
That was the situation at the time. I guess that now, at this time, you could do the same with this GTX 970. Head in that direction. I don't know. But anyway, I'm going to take a look today at some trends on graphics card prices, and we're going to see what the market's like. Let's take a look and see what the prices are looking at like right now, and see if right now is truly a terrible time to buy a graphics card. Maybe it's time to hold on to those graphics cards for a little while and see what the prices do. Either way, I think it's probably not a good idea to buy an RTX 50 series card. Alright, so there's this really cool website here, howmuch.one. Very cool website, as you can tell, no ads, just a very basic chart here. And I have, just for example, right away, an RTX 2080 Super, little bit older card, obviously, and they show a price chart going back to 2020 that basically tracks how much these things are selling for on average. And you can see, unfortunately, this chart, its data ends in August of 2024, so I think they've stopped updating this website, sadly. This is a very cool tool to have at your disposal, but one thing we still have, of course, is eBay themselves, so we can compare that last price from August of 2024 right at an even 200. Makes this easy for me. So obviously we have stuff like this. I don't know what the heck that is. These are auctions. If you look at Buy It Now, it just shows a bunch of junk, potentially scam listings and stuff like that. So auctions are much more reasonable to look at to see, you know, what the prices really are, what people are actually willing to pay for an item. So you can see here, this is a fancier model, the 2080 ROG Strix Republic of Gamers, $230 for that. The EVGA one's slightly less desirable, so $209. You have this one. This one didn't have a very good picture, sold for $187. This one, people don't really like these blower cards because they're not pretty. I do have one in this system, you can see here. It's not a 2080, but it's a blower card. So overall average, you know, without going through here and actually averaging all these numbers up, looks like they're generally selling for a little under 200. The fancier models are selling at or just slightly above 200. So things haven't really changed much since that price chart ended. The point is here, what we're trying to see is, are the prices shooting up because of the recently announced tariffs? The answer for this card is no, but we're going to take a look at some more cards. For example, I was thinking the 3080 Ti. So we can look at the prices for the 3080 Ti on here going up to 2024, back in 2021. It's always interesting to see. This was selling for $1,900. So, yeah. And I'm not sure if this thing factored in just like selling prices, or if it includes, you know, people listing a 3080 for $8,000 or something. I'm not sure if it factors that in. I don't think so. I think these are sold prices only, but I'm not positive of that. So you can see here, early 2024, the prices were trending down for these, and it ended around $499. So that's a 3080, 4070. Okay, eBay, thank you. There's a 3080 Ti. It looks like it sold for the starting bid of $550. So this one sold for $444, 4070s. 3080 Ti for right at $500, just over. Here's the 3080 Ti sold for $490. Looks like MSI Trio, $525. So, you know, these seem to be selling for right around the price before as a gigabyte one for $486. So, you know, pretty much that averages out to right at 500 or maybe a few dollars over 500. So they're basically stayed the same since August of 2024. Let's look at something even higher end, 3090. So obviously, you know, you jump from the 3080 Ti, which is like a high-end gaming card, to the 3090, which is more in line with the Titans. You know, traditionally, those cards kind of targeted towards a different audience, obviously. So, you know, I don't know what it was selling for in 2021. I don't think we want to look at that, but you can see here it kind of went down in 2023, then it went up a little bit more in early 2024, then it went back down. So here we look at some prices on the 3090. The 3090 is selling for $910. The price we're looking for is actually $700. That was in July of 2024, so $900 somebody bought that one for. It was a Founders Edition. Founders Editions tend to be a little bit more desirable than, say, this right here. This one has a read description. I'm not reading the description. I can imagine what it says. Probably says if one fan's not working or something. That's never a good thing to see. But yeah, even if one that has that in the title is selling for more money than what it was selling for several months ago, that shows that there is a definitive increase on the prices of 3090s. $800 for that. This junk. I thought I filtered that out, but 3090 Founders Edition for $800. 3090 gigabyte cards over $950. That's insane. It's a supposed retail price for the 5080. Got an Asus card there. It's over $900 with $50 in shipping. $900 on that Founders Edition. So the prices of these have definitely increased. And one thing I do want to look at, even though this isn't really reliable info, I'd like to go back and look at listings that have not sold, and I'd like to see some listings that are being listed right now as we speak. If people are listing them for a lot of money on here above the market price and nobody's listing them for lower than that, then there's no supply of reasonably priced cards. So if somebody wants one bad enough, they're just going to pay too much money for it, and the price will obviously increase. So you can see here, one was just listed here for $989.99, $1,000. This one's well over $1,000. That's a 3090, not a 3090 Ti. Matter of fact, I'm going to take a look at the 3090 Ti price from several months ago really quick. That's the 3090. There's a 3090 Ti. So 3090 Ti ends July, and it was at $830. So yeah, these things are well above even the 3090 Ti prices. So prices for the 3090 have increased dramatically, and you can see here it's a 4090. This is like a workstation, I guess, card. It's just a blower card. It's not a workstation card. It's just a blower style card, but $1,200 for that. Not really fancy Kingpin hybrid card for $1,000. $1,000. So there's a 3090 Ti for $1,200. That's basically the same as what the 3090s are being listed for. So I don't know what's going on with 30 series cards here, but let's take a look at some 40 series cards just to see. Alright, so this is the price chart for the 4070 Ti 12 gig. It ends in, again, July of 2024 right at $600. So we look over here on eBay and we see 4070 Ti, kind of the upper end of the gaming spectrum. 4080 is like, price of those are way out of line in my opinion, but I know there's some people out there that are more well off than me. So $1,000 for this listing. These are sold listings again. These are sold. People bought these listings. And we can see here 4070 Ti 840. This one with, did this one have pictures? Oh, this was eBay refurbished. Well, eBay refurbished ripped themselves off. I think they could have gotten at least $100 more out of that. They sold it for $600. Look at those eBay refurbished listings, I guess. Take a look at those. This one here sold for $800. I don't know what they were doing. This one sold for almost $1,000. These are buy it now listings as well. These aren't even auctions. People are just throwing themselves at the 4070. This is the Super, the 4070 Ti Super. So we got to watch out for that. We're looking specifically at the 4070 Ti. Here's another one, the MSI Ventus. Slightly more basic card. 710 on that one. Here's one again. Somebody listed, maybe ripped themselves off. Listed it, buy it now for $600. But the point is, that's right at the price that they were before. But a lot of these are selling, not just being listed, but selling for considerably more than that. So there's one that sold for $725. I guess some people are just throwing their cards on here, hoping to sell them fast like that, but maybe not paying attention to the fact that prices are going up, obviously. And we can see here, like, look at this, a 4070 Ti Super. One sells for $850, another one sells for $700. One's a dual fan card, but I don't think that's, $150 difference right there. Just being listed right now. US listings, these are buy it now listings that are being sold. Not sold listings, but these are listings that are currently available for purchase: a 4070 Ti, 740. This is, again, got to make sure it's not a different product, because eBay for some reason doesn't like to show right products. 850 there for that one. There's the Super. Alright, so these are all obviously just joke listings. That's a 4070 Ti Super in auction. It already has 2 bids at $960. And finally we reach the 4090. Now obviously the 4090, I actually made the prediction a couple months ago as the rumors were being leaked about the 50 series that 4090 prices are about to go up. Prices went way back up, actually, from a low of around $1,500 up to almost $1,900. Then, well, you know, they kind of calmed down and went back down, and then it just sat steady for a couple months, right at $1,500 apparently. I can't guarantee this is 100% accurate, but it seems to be pretty close, and people have used this in the past. So let's go on here. Let's take a look. So again, we'll take a look at sold listings first. These are sold listings. People have purchased these items. I searched 4090 and it's pulling up 3080 Ti's, of course. Oh, eBay. So here's one obviously sold for $2,500. It's a little bit more than $1,500, I think. Yeah, a little bit more. And there's just not many of them being sold, it doesn't seem. 3090s and 3080s abound on eBay, but 4090s, yeah, they don't pop up too often. Price certainly hasn't gone down for these. $2,300 for that one there. We just scroll until we see another one. This one for $2,200. $2,100 for that one. It's the MSI. Here's the Asus Republic of Gamers for $2,100. And yeah, there's not many of them on here. This was a buy it now. Somebody just put it up for $2,000 with the kind of a generic picture. But yeah, there's a 4080 that almost sold for the price of a 4090 back in July of 2024. So I guess that kind of tells us all we need to know right there. I suppose what we've learned here is that at the very high end of things, when you're looking at 3090s and 3090 Ti's, 4090s, 4080s, 4070 Ti Supers, you're looking at not just an increase, but a pretty significant increase over the last 7 or 8 months anyway. I'm thinking a much smaller time frame than that. I'm looking at maybe November or December of 2024 up to today, February 1st, when I'm filming this. Prices have increased quite dramatically at that more high-end RTX Titan generation, 3090 and 4090 tier. But when you are looking at more gamer-centric cards, gamer-focused cards, you're looking at prices that maybe have gone up slightly, but not, you know, by huge margins like 50 or 100% in some cases. Looking at more reasonable prices, I guess. Something is definitely up with graphics card prices. If you're building a gaming PC, it's a very good idea, obviously, it always has been, ever since eBay's been a thing, to look at eBay, take a look at the used prices, consider it. You know, a lot of people don't like to buy used stuff. I get it. I understand that, but it's not a bad idea, and right now especially is not a bad idea. Although there is an argument to be made for new stuff now, even though it might be a little pricier, you'll at least avoid the, you know, the chance that you could get one of those scammers on eBay. There is a lot of sketchy people on eBay these days, and especially other sites. Sites that start with an M that I won't mention. But right now, buying a high-end card, buying a current generation card on nVIDIA's side, not a great idea. I have looked at Radeon card prices, and they are not nearly as bad as the nVIDIA prices. Again, the very high-end 7900 XTX prices have gone up slightly, but nothing like the nVIDIA cards lower down than that, the 7800 XT, the 6000 series, those are all fine. Prices stayed fairly steady, if not come down a little bit. So Radeon cards are a go right now. nVIDIA cards from older generations, if you have a tighter budget, those are fine. But yeah, current generation, pretty much all of the 40 series, let's face it, 4060 maybe okay. But yeah, right now the situation is looking pretty grim for graphics cards. I don't know if it's gonna get like it was back then, because that seemed to drag on forever. It pretty much did last the entire year of 2021, and 2022, the first half of it, things are still pretty screwed up. Prices came down technically, but there was still a lot of scams out there, still a lot of mess going on in 2022. I was there for it. It wasn't a good time. I was using my GTX 770, and for now, I think I'm going to hang on to my GTX 970. Look at that. Isn't that a beautiful card? It's a very rare card. You probably won't find one on eBay. It's a Zotac GTX 970 Amp Extreme, 4 GB. Imagine that. 2025, 4 GB graphics cards. That's where we're at here at the CRT Productions. But anyway, as always, thank you for watching, and stay safe out there, especially on eBay.